It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch, sitting here at Milberger's watching the beautiful zinnias, checking out the vincas in front of us, all kinds of great perennials in front of us, from lantana to what's the red?
The salvia and the bat-faced kufia.
Oh, where is that?
That's
the
right
kufia.
in front of it.
The red one.
Oh, the red one's a bat-faced kufia?
Yeah,
okay.
so the red and black, or dark blue,
Stand back.
is
Is that how it goes?
No. Stand back. No, that's the bat-faced kufia.
Oh, okay.
And then the solid red one, right in front of that, is the red salvia.
Salvia
greggii.
greggii.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. Yes. Because there's a tropical or scarlet sage.
Yes.
Not to be confused by this. This is the the greggii.
And then we still have a little bit of the fennec phlox. I got one before they all disappeared. There's about 5 or 6 left. So,
Did you say panic phlox?
yes, panic phlox.
I was going to say it's kind of perfect. You were in a panic.
There's only 5 left. I got to get panic phlox.
You were in the panic for the fanic.
And there's
nice.
still plenty of the tropical milkweed over there behind Mark.
Yeah, in all different sizes. I think weren't there some 1 gallons and some?
I don't know. I can just see the big ones.
Well, I think so. There were some big ones out in the main area.
And then, of course, porterweed here, the purple porterweed is blooming up a storm.
Cool. All right. So where's the purple porterweed?
Right there.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, right there on the left-hand side of your dial.
I didn't. No, it's on the right hand. Well, are you looking at the dial or?
I'm always looking at
Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Yep, give us a call and tell us what's going on. Are we looking for anything in specific? My tomatoes from my spring tomatoes are pretty much done.
Yeah, I didn't do it this morning, but I was going to start pruning some of the viable stuff or the non-viable stuff up right off and keep maybe a few branches off my tomato.
Oh, good. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means there's a few branches that are still producing a little bit of fruit, but there's a bunch of shriveled up branches that I'm going to get rid of right now.
Now, I know when you, like, for instance, when you plant tomatoes, so, like, you just bought it, okay? And I don't know if you did this or not, but they always talk about, on the interwebs.
Yeah.
Plant it deeper, cut the bottom leaves off. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But let's see where I'm going with this.
All right.
So
'cause we're going to rip that apart.
So
okay.
so if my tomato is just about had it, it's not great, but it's not dead. Can I take it, cut it, and then try to reroot it from the cuttings?
Well, if you want to, but why would you want? Now, if that is more appropriate,
yes,
for a indeterminate tomato in a long season, a one-season area.
Okay.
Like Tennessee or
Michigan,
Indiana, or someplace.
Minnesota.
Yeah, we're talking about determinate tomatoes here. Who go to a relatively small size, and then they concentrate on fruit, and then they get done real quick and beat either the hot weather this time of the year, or when you plant them in July, they beat the cold weather that time of year. So all of that processing is satisfying and fun for some folks, but I'm not sure it translates into better tomatoes.
What was my? Oh, you think the tomatoes are not as good, or
No. I just think you don't get more production. You just,
okay, I was just curious because I mean, these were now going to be my fall tomatoes if this worked. By the way, I did do it anyway, leading up to this, and it hasn't worked. So the poor little tomato I stuck in the ground it's had it.
Oh my!
You know we will be getting new tomatoes
I know.
here in a
Very
month.
excited.
Yeah.
My BHN 968s are blooming up a storm, but I haven't seen any fruits out
Oh.
Oh, that's weird.
yet.
I really want you to produce a lot of fruit because I really want you to bring those in.
Yeah.
about 3.5 feet tall,
Yeah.
and they look good. And blooming, I expect them to produce fruit. My Ruby Crush are still producing pretty well.
I hate when he just goes on and on.
Yeah,
about
that's
his
Ruby
successful-
Crush. Oh, it's doing well. These are doing well. Blah 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 blah. Brag.
I've got birds and spider mites to feed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the spider mites, they get hungry. There's Mary. We didn't see her earlier. What else? So,
Peppers are going well.
Yes.
yeah, I bought the Anaheims here.
Yeah.
They look great. I need help though. I have never even seen an Anaheim in the store, which isn't good.
Just a green. It's just a.
It's the longish green one.
Oh, a longish one? Maybe I didn't get Anaheim.
Yeah.
No.
I got tennis ball size green one.
Oh, okay. All right.
What do
All
I
right.
have if I don't have Anaheim?
It's not a bell pepper, but it's sort of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost square.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are they? I thought it was Anaheim.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was Anaheim too, but if you say that's a long one,
No,
so how do I know when it's done?
Well, it's done as soon as you want to eat it.
Oh, okay. Will it turn I'm talking about thinking of the Rio Grande Gold. Will it turn red if I keep it on there?
It'll turn.
I would guess.
but it's more inclined to decline. Those when they're those big
That's
ones.
confusing. It's inclined to decline?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they, some like a banana or
Banana pepper?
Yeah, what is the little hot pepper that's common?
The jalapeno.
Jalapeno, yeah, that they get kind of purple.
Yeah.
some of 'em,
Yeah.
They get a little reddish color on them,
and they last for a long
blush.
time. Yeah.
a reddish blush, and then they're ready to go.
Well, what I may do is take one off and see what I got. 2 of them right now.
Stuff them or
Yeah.
chop them up for.
Ooh, I need a stuffed pepper recipe. And I want to tell Bert, if you're listening, Michigan Bert, I think it was Michigan Bert, that
He gave us all the seed. Is that what you're talking about?
no, he gave us the instructions for the seed.
Oh, okay.
The seed was given to
Yes,
us
he
by Greg up in North Texas.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Bert, okay, so I took a tomato, sliced it up, scooped out the seeds, put it in a jar, filled it just above this, level, about an inch, with water, sealed it so it was airtight, let it sit on the counter for 3 days, like that. Then I dumped the water out, strained the seeds, and then I put it back in and put some more water in.
Right.
So
I think we did it 3 times.
You did it 3 times?
I think he did it 3
So
times.
So if you were interpreting Bert's message, and Bert may call us at 210-308-8867, you would say that on the 3rd time,
Then you put them on the paper towel.
put them in the paper towels.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have enough seed, you could experiment and just do it one time. And
Right. Well,
I'll
there
bet
you
the
go.
results turn out exactly the same.
That
Well, I did-
scientific mind is always working. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Calvin. Yes, it is. So I do have some seeds from doing it the other way that y'all suggested first. So I will see which one works.
I've got one Rio Grande,
All right.
but it's producing fruit.
You need to-
I haven't harvested any yet.
Yeah, get the seeds. Get the seeds. Get the seeds.
And
Oops.
Bring us some.
Oops.
What?
well,
I forgot to get the seeds.
For what?
The Rio Grande.
I didn't think you had any.
I did.
Oh,
I
man.
had a couple.
Oh, I need to remind you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Or slap me. However, I'm just out of the way. Yeah.
Okay. Ow. That hurt me. Your face is... You need to shave.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Let's see. So we talked about. I always like the first part of Saturday's show because it's what's going on in Milton's garden.
Yes. What is going on in Milton's garden?
So we talked about the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is weird. The Tatuma squash.
That's usually the same, too.
That's usually the same.
I know. That's always the preface. Here,
I didn't know this was going to happen.
Hold my beer, or Milton.
This is weird. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
The Tatuma that I planted.
Yeah.
It's going nutty.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize because I wanted to turn it. The runners, they root. Are they supposed to root?
Oh, I've really never noticed them rooting.
Yeah, mine are rooting. Yeah, mine were on the ground, and so I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to turn it and get it a little more sun. Because they were going into other plants.
I think they will survive even if you pull them up.
No, well, it's too late now. We're going to find out. But yes, I did pull them up. But yeah, that was weird. But gosh, Are they producing any blooms or anything? Oh, I got a couple yellow blooms.
Hey, have you got any fruit?
No, not yet.
Boy, once it starts, they'll come fast. Baseball size and softball size, and then
great.
volleyball size.
Good Lord,
and
that's frightening.
Oh yeah, it can be. Those guys.
So Kevin and
Volkswagen size, and
Kevin and I recommend the baseball to softball size.
Okay, that's when you eat them.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you fix those? I know you said you had somebody fix you
just
some.
Every recipe that you use for summer squash, you can use for that kind of squash. It was especially good in a rice and pork dish that my neighbors made before me.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, it was good. And they had the chunks of it in there, and they didn't overcook it, so you had a nice texture.
Yeah. The first time I ever learned about it was in Calabacita.
Yeah, that's
the first time I ever
You know, and that's kind of a casserole-ish thing.
So onions and tomatoes.
You know where
So if you want to send me a recipe, it's Milton at KLUP.com.
You know where I first tasted it, and this was years ago.
Years.
Saw's Cafeteria really did a wonderful job.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's the same.
What's that? You too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be the great day when I used to see that.
Can anybody go to the Saw's Cafeteria?
Yes, they may.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you got an ID.
Oh, no. I think I have
money.
an idea.
Yeah. And I'll remind everybody now, because I found out about it just recently. I went, it's cashless. You have to have a card.
Oh, okay.
So ID and card.
Is that right? It's cashless now, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
I had to go race out to my car.
Everything is becoming cashless. I'm getting upset. Back in my day, you used to have money in your wallet. Now you just got plastic.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to rave about their chicken piccata at Saw's. So find out if that's being served. Wonderful. And the Calabacita.
Okay. But again, send your recipes to Milton at KLUP.com. I'll make them. You know I will. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on in the garden?
Well, I just want to just briefly mention that I had an emergency video here at Millburgers.
Oh, what'd you have to do?
And, we had a cancellation. The wonderful and beautiful Lee Marlowe, she said she had to cancel our video yesterday.
Okay.
So I said, let's go over to Millburgers. And so the theme of it, it will drop. The first Friday is 4th of July.
Oh.
So we were doing color in the landscape. So I got all my favorite color stuff, which you can all see when you come out here. Lots of the orange and yellow zinnias and reds. And some
Vincas.
Of the scarlet and vincas. I got a bunch of red vincas. And
those whites.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of the whites because I have kind of limited on the cart I was bringing out. We videoed in the amphitheater.
Oh, okay.
And the Pride of Barbados, and Ceniza. So all the things that you need. And the Bells of Fire. Which I
okay.
Which
that's the pretty.
John's going to have, because I called them balls of fire when during the
no.
video, so we'll have to edit that part out.
No.
But anyway, so
that's the orangish yellow
that was
one?
the orangish yellow one. That's
Okay,
a
Esperanza.
hybrid between the native and an Argentinian one.
Okay.
But it was like the intro was, this will drop on July 4th. There'll be color in the sky. Let's get some color in your landscape.
I got you.
So that will, that's coming up in a week or so. So
Yeah, we should do our favorite red, white, and blue plants.
Oh, I've done that before on the weekly article. Let's do it.
We did that
here.
too. You want to do that tomorrow, or you want to do it now?
Yeah, no. We'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, because it's closer. Okay.
Give me a think.
Oh,
Now, the column that I had.
Since you've been here last,
All right.
$2.99 caladiums in orange pot.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right. $2.99
$2.99.
caladiums 4-inch pot.
Now,
Okay.
is there a limit?
Okay. Did you want to come on the mic a sec? Okay.
They
Also have
for $6.88.
the 688 ones, the big one, number one pot.
Yeah.
All right, that's a great deal.
So these caladiums, this is excellent color because they have red ones and green ones and silver ones. This is an excellent color for the shade part of your garden.
That's a great price.
Yeah, if
That's
you
a
want
break.
something a little different for your summer color in the shade, generally.
Yeah.
And caladiums, and they're we used to have more caladiums.
These things go in popularity. It used to be all coleus. All different kinds of coleus, and then it kind of fell out of fashion. And then impatience, that was all. Everybody had impatience, and then caladiums were in that.
And then I guess part of it, I think, was the begonia resurrection, and then and the pentas. The pentas have taken a lot of space too. Now I did a column on what's blooming. You remember a couple weeks ago, and I made a statement about the Lantana Chimera, what color it was, and the Horrida, what color it was.
Yeah.
And a couple of gardeners wrote at me and said, I think you got the colors turned around. And I think they were right. The Horrida, which is the pure native, is the gold and the orange. And the Chimera is the cream and pink.
Yeah.
Now you gotta kind of modify that because there's so many
many of them. Yeah.
And then kind of combination colors too. But that's basically both.
The one of the ones that I was most familiar with was the one called Ham and Eggs, and so that was pink and yellow.
Oh, okay.
And you see that one quite often. Those Chimera ones tend to be bigger, and you can see them in the landscape a lot.
But if you go in most neighborhoods,
and in the parks,
in most neighborhoods in the full sun, you'll see both the Chimera and the Horrida, and blooming up a storm. And from now until the cold weather comes, they're a favorite nectar plant. And of course, you got a lot of other varieties and a lot of different colors. I think in the article we also talked about the yellow, the golden. But what's the one on the red one, Mark, that you generally talk?
That's the one I like. It's called Dallas Red. But again, there's a bunch of different varieties of that. But the one that was predominantly red with some orange was called Dallas Red. But again,
and this is
lots of varieties.
This is the overall plant for Dallas Red is
a Chimera base with a mixture of native.
Okay, but what plant?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's the Lantana.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure people knew.
Stay up with us, Milton.
I'm with you.
Okay, Calvin and I are going ahead.
Okay.
And moving right along. You just got to stay up with us.
Okay. All right. Well, you're throwing out all these terms. It's like, wait, is that Lantana they're talking about? Or Is that the red there, the reddish orange, the one I'm pointing to on the
Yeah.
left-hand side of your radio?
Well, that's one of the variations.
Okay.
Right. So it's if you like a color,
Yes, I like
your
that color.
if you have a specific color that you want, well, we probably have that one.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And over here or in that color.
I think we even have Barbie bouquet. That's what we call. We have a naturalized.
Is that Bobby Bouquet?
No, Barbie.
Oh, Barbie. Okay.
We have one that's,
that's
I think is a is there a native that's not hybridized and all that?
Just Horda.
Yeah, it's Horta. Yes.
Just what?
Horta. Lantana Horta. We keep using the species name. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Lantana Horta.
And it's
that's
kind
the
of
native.
got pink and yellow.
No.
and red.
That's probably camera.
Okay, I'll take a picture of it and bring it tomorrow.
So the Horta, like Calvin mentioned, was yellow with red or red with yellow, orange with red.
Okay.
Horda, it's kind of a yellow and gold.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Orange is
Orange and yellow. That's
I will take a picture of it. But yeah,
what was let's see. Oh, you know what we gave a lot of attention to last week, but I don't even see it now. And I bought some. Were the butterfly weed.
Oh wow!
Gosh, yeah, they look good.
Did you get tropical and the tuberosa, the native one?
Yep.
Okay.
They still got the tropical left there, Coccinia, but they I don't see the butterfly weed, which is the tuberosa.
Yeah.
That
it was right in front of our patio.
Well, let's do this. You look while we take a break. 210-308-8867. We got to take a break. 210-308-8867. Calvin will look during the break, and we'll tell you more after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Calvin will give you that news in just a second, but right now I want to tell you about Pruski's Market on Highway 87. You cannot go wrong when you go to Pruski's Market. And I was talking to somebody else about it today. They used to live out in that area, and they loved it. And the reason they loved it was exactly what I've been saying. I'm going to tell you right now, because not only of the great quality, which they mentioned, how much they like the taste of the food, but the service. They loved going to the old-fashioned butcher, the counter where you can point out the meat, where you can see the cut you're going to get, and you can ask the butcher about it. Pruski's has outstanding beef, outstanding poultry, great sausage, and even some things that you won't find anyplace else, like we talked about rabbit and duck and stuff like that. So head on over there. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking to have it delivered, maybe you want to deliver some Polish sausage to your friends up in Chicago, some real Texas Polish sausage.
How did you know?
You can do that. You just call Pruski's, or you go online, and Pruski's can make that happen. Online is Pruski'sMeatMarket.com. Pruski'sMeatMarket.com on Highway 87 between 410 and 1604. You will absolutely love the experience, and you'll be back time and time again. All right, 210-308-8867. Calvin, what'd you find out?
Yes, Mary was exactly right. There's one row of tuberosa left.
Good.
Looks like 6 plants. So, and they're right on the verge. Some of them are just started to bloom. And then, of course, there's about 7 or 8 rows of tropicals there. They're large, and they're blooming up a storm.
Yes, they really are.
So, and then we got the reminder, we've got the purple porterweed. And of course, we've got the zinnias. Have we got mistflower?
I was just gonna look. I was just looking around for it. We probably do. I just don't know where it is.
Lots of salvia, lots of lantana.
So everyone in San Antonio must have at least one mistflower in their yard. Mm-hmm. It's required.
Yeah,
I think it's an ordinance. I think before he left.
Mayor
Nuremberg made it executive.
Is that
decision.
right?
Yes, I believe so.
My sister-in-laws have them at the house they live in. Have done the bed with mist flower, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a great.
And it could do a little shade, but
full
sun is good. But
okay,
a little shade is. is still tolerable.
So what is more showy, the blue flowers that are kind of slumped over, or the complete coverage of the butterflies that are on?
No, they do get butterflies.
Oh,
they were
wow.
saying, yeah.
You know, and the queens are active already now, so the queens are everywhere.
So I think the latter is Miss Flower. It's a light blue flower. It's not really showy, but it is apparently very attracted to the flowers.
Yeah,
And I was downtown at the Ruby City, the art gallery.
Oh, okay.
And they have a row of Miss Flower in the back, and it was completely covered by queens.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. It was like September, August, so it's a little early for anything else, but there were a lot of queens on that.
A lot of queens, yeah. And then, of course, the fritillaries are, because the passion vines are blooming up a storm.
Oh, okay.
So they're all fritillaries everywhere. The black swallowtails are always everywhere because of the fennel and the
dill and parsley.
Yep, and also
that's Holy Trinity.
they love our horse herb for a nectar source.
I always forget that. Yeah.
And then one of our other favorites is the giant swallowtail, and that if you got any citrus, but actually you don't need any citrus to have them because they'll be looking for nectar, but to lay eggs they need some citrus. And then the tiger swallowtail, which I think is one of Mark's favorites, looks like the giant swallowtail, just a different pattern on the wings, but they'll lay their eggs all kinds of places.
There's a lot of host plants for that, including, of course, lots of trees. That's why I like it, but a lot of native vegetation.
Even hackberries.
Even hackberries. Even the lowly hackberry.
Yeah.
I'm going to, by the way, set up the marketing now on this. We're working together with some people to a species of hackberry in the hill country.
Huh.
And I'm not going to call it hackberry. I'm going to call it Texas Hill Country Sugarberry.
Oh.
Do you think it's a better marketing name?
Yes, I do think it's a better marketing name.
So, working with some growers on that. So it is a hackberry. But we're going to market it as Texas Hill Country Sugarberry.
Okay. But it's really a hackberry. Or it's a hackberry in the hackberry family. How do you...
as our senators in front of Congress or expert witnesses will say, I don't recall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we we don't give hackberry much credit in terms of its wildlife attraction.
Oh no, it is like superior to even oak in wildlife.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Well, the berries in the summer consistent, and the birds really go for them. Now, the other thing that's blooming, that's got berries right now, kind of at the end of it, but still loaded with berries, are the anaqua. They're the sticky yellow berries, and they're going strong. We got you can make a lot of you can make choices on some of those on small trees and shrubs, and you can basically have access to berries and fruit for the birds and other wildlife.
What does ligustrum berry look like?
It's blue.
Oh, it's blue?
Yeah. Japanese ligustrum, it'll be almost like a grape cluster of blueberries.
Oh, really?
Berries,
okay, then that's not what I'm seeing. So you mentioned the yellow. We've got these little yellow marbles all over our backyard.
Yeah, I see an
Is that your anaqua?
Yeah,
anaqua? Okay.
Yeah, but
I don't think I have an anaqua.
No, the anaqua, before it has berries, has to get quite large.
Okay. Does anything else have little yellow balls?
Must.
What?
It must, but I can't think of it right now.
Okay.
A lot of. Then somebody showed me one of the attendees, Barbara, from the milkweed class. She had some plants come up in her milkweed containers, and we were trying to figure out what they were. And It looks like, now that they're loaded with berries, it looks like they're chili patine.
Oh.
But the big berry version. And they're really kind of attractive, too. Kind of disappointed it's not showy milkweed, but the birds will love those. Mm-hmm. And it is an attractive plant, too.
We so I have the little pekins. Is that the little ones look like Tic Tacs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But they pack a punch.
What's that?
But they pack a
yeah.
punch.
So I can bring y'all some tomorrow if you like. Some Tic Tacs. Yeah, they're just Tic Tacs, you know. But I dried them in the oven for holy cow. It's like 5 hours or more in the oven.
For those little berries?
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, and then put them in a grinder. So if you want to, I'll bring it tomorrow. We can put some over stuff. You want to try some, or you just believe me they're hot?
Oh, are they really hot?
Oof.
Try a
they're
little
hot.
bit, but don't commit us to a full meal of them.
I committed a faux pas when I first arrived here in Texas 42 years ago. I was a young man, and the parks people noticed that I was eating jalapenos raw. Oh.
No.
Yeah, I could do it. And say, oh, would you like to try some of these little...
Hang on, Janice.
Red and reddish.
Yes.
And then I was down on the ground asking for the hose to be inserted into my mouth because I was...
Supposedly we had there's a story that goes that we had someone at the station that put them all in a little Tic Tac box.
Oh.
And would offer them to people. It was apparently quite a surprise. Janice is on the line at 210-308-8867. She's got a mist flower question or comment. What's going on, Janice? Welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How can we help you?
Well, thank you. I just heard y'all talking about the mist flowers, and I have a bed that's a couple of years old, and believe you me, it does spread. But they grow up about a foot high. They bloom up a storm. They're very pretty for a couple of weeks, and then they've died back. So any flower that was on them is just like a dried up, brown, whatever. And I have very few blooms. Are they supposed to be blooming all summer long? Because mine aren't. How
much are you watering them?
When I feel like it.
Is it limited soil?
No, there's pretty good soil and compost and mulch and things in there. So would they be blooming?
Sunlight. What's the sunlight situation?
Well, it's only for a couple hours in the morning, Mark.
Yes, that's right. We'll see. So, you know what? I've only seen them do this after a period of heavy rain. So maybe they're just the flowers are done, and then they're going to do new ones. But they should be flowering all summer long.
But really, just continuous flowering.
Yeah.
But if they're in a limited soil area, which a lot of our neighborhoods are, they're sensitive. If you go 2 weeks without the rain, they decline. But I'll bet the sun is the factor there.
Yeah, I know that's the backyard, and she is actually correct. It's a couple of.
It's my front yard. Yeah.
It's your front yard. Okay.
Is this our composting friend?
He gets confused. What's the front and the back?
Composting friend?
Yeah.
Hey, hi, Janice.
You met Janice a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Weekends ago.
The other thing that's not doing well, I bought a bunch of zinnias from y'all only because you were talking about how wonderful they were. Mm-hmm. And I put them in both pots and in the ground. They bloomed beautifully until those blooms were spent, and now nothing else is happening. I've got green plants, but no blooms.
Are they in the sun?
They're as much sun as I could give them. How much do they need?
They're full sun plants.
Remember, she has you had you had lots of shade.
She has this oval in her driveway with beautiful trees, beautiful oaks, some beautiful. What is it again? You always tell me.
I have Wedelia.
And
my Wedelia is about almost 2 feet tall right now, blooming up a storm with yellow flowers, and the other one is Ardesia.
I can never remember.
Japanese, Ardisia.
Yeah, I suspect that the sun is a factor there too. A lot of times, if you deadhead you cut off those spent blooms, you'll get some
Right.
restoration.
Yeah.
But the foliage is good, and and you aren't getting flowers. I suspect it's because of lack of sun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I learned my lesson with the zinnias.
Have you ever tried any of the pentas?
Yeah.
I did buy some pentas, and they're doing okay.
Okay.
Now, what I found on the pentas, they do best when you go from a blast of sun, even in the afternoon, like 2 hours of sun, or 3 hours in the morning sun, and then it goes shade. They do the best when the sun and shade is really distinct and a real changeover. So if you got any places like that, you might want to try a few pentas there, because they really are pretty spectacular if they get in that situation.
The things that have done the best for me are coleus, all different kinds of coleus, asparagus fern. I've got some places that have begonias or impatiens.
Yeah.
What is the common thread of all those plants?
Yeah, that would be the shade. And then the few spots where I do have a dot of sun here and there, I have the yellow gold lantana. And that really holds its own. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But that is hanging out over the curb because that's where the sun is.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
And then the other thing is, I have some really giant liriope. I don't know if giant is the right word to call it, but it's, about 18 inches tall.
Uh-huh.
And I have liriope in my yard that I planted 25 years ago. And it really hasn't spread, but it's still doing great.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds attractive.
Anyway, and then plus my favorite plants, you were talking about berries. I have a couple of Anaqua trees, and one of them out front is about 15 feet tall. And it bloomed up a storm in the spring, and so now, as a result, I have berries. And I tasted a couple of those berries, and they're not bad. I see why the birds and the squirrels are picking on them.
What kind of birds do you have? Anything exciting?
No, cardinals, a couple of blue jays, lots of little brown and black birds.
That's
I have
exciting.
a hawk that comes by and has killed 2 or 3 cardinals.
Really?
One right in front of me, and a couple of doves.
I saw quite a battle yesterday with the Cooper's hawk coming cruising through and really disrupting the whole around the bird bass.
Yeah, we have one in our neighborhood, and it's surprising how the birds just scatter. And then when we see them scatter, we look up in the sky, and then a few seconds later, it just kind of comes by.
If there's no action, and you say, why is this? There's no action. And then you think, someplace there's a Cooper's hawk.
Yeah, so you start scanning the skies.
Or, they surprise you, but they'll even hunt on the ground because they go after lizards, and they'll even catch by the bird feeders. They'll even catch some of the small sparrows and things like that. But they like those lizards.
I saw one eating a snake that was about 3 feet long.
Wow.
Up high in one of the oak trees, and there were 2 hawks up there crowing or whatever at each other. And I looked up, and I thought they had a piece of rope. And anyway, it turned out it was a snake. Oh. And they were fighting over it, and one of them finally left. And it took him about 30 minutes, but he ate every bit of that snake.
What a romantic dinner.
Okay, yeah.
Snakes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was just a little grass snake or a little garden snake, but anyway.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Sounds good. Thanks for the report.
So I'm not going to have much luck with my Greg's Mist flower bed then.
Well, not any more than you are having, probably.
Yeah.
But,
well, the thing is, butterflies don't seem to come to any shade blooms, do they? I don't really ever notice them on any of my shade plants.
no.
Well, they'll come to the pentas if you get the pentas in there.
And salvias, but Calvin and I have noticed that a lot of the salvias are later in the year.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for the
Janice.
help.
You take care. You
All
bet.
right.
We got to
Bye-bye.
take a quick break and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. Give us a call and tell us what's going on in your gardening world at 210-308-8867. Milton Glueck back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number, 210-308-8867. What's going on in your yard? Okay, can I, normally I talk about how great the Sinisa look.
Yeah.
Can I brag on crepe myrtles? They are happy as can be, and they look gorgeous.
They are.
The Sinisa are still blooming.
They are still blooming, or did they bloom again?
No. I have seen a forecast of
rain?
Monday and the rain.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe they're going to be blooming again.
Maybe they are blooming again. Yes, ma'am. Did you have a question? Oh, okay, okay. But
You're just admiring how handsome we are?
Yeah.
no, I don't think that's it. Why is she laughing? But yeah, the crepe myrtles are absolutely gorgeous. Do you think it was the big rain?
I think it was the big rain. But I also think that roller coaster weather that we had early this spring delayed them a little bit, and now they're
coming on
full bloom.
Okay.
Yeah, usually we consider around 4th of July the blooming of the big 4 or 5 that we like. Crepe myrtles, Sinisa, Pride of Barbados, Esperanza.
The Pride of Barbados look good too.
And Firebush. All those things need to be really...
Firebush are a little behind them.
Oh, are they?
I know. So I didn't bring them into the video yesterday because they're a little behind.
But so we'll just you always talk about your neighborhood. Do the crepe myrtles in your neighborhood look great?
They look great.
Yeah, I mean it is hard to drive down the road without seeing some
it's still
beautiful
blooming.
reds and purples. I like the purple the best.
Yeah. Oh, I really haven't noticed many purples. The pinks are dominating.
The pinks and the reds
Yeah.
and that fuchsia color. I'm not a big fan of it, but it is blooming up a lot.
You know, it is
Kinda like
still
off red.
still blooming are the pomegranates.
Yeah.
They just keep blooming. It's not overwhelming like the crepe myrtles, but you can sure see those orange flowers up there in the 20-foot pomegranate tree.
Oh, yeah, I got my poor pomegranate that started off so lousy has apparently found its little self, and it's going crazy. It's just going up and up and up and up and up. I had to stake it earlier because it was just flopping over, but now it's on its own, and it is happy. That's fun.
Huh.
I just got a seed from a pomegranate. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe nothing. But, yeah. Anyway. And sunflowers are coming up.
Yeah,
The big ones. Oh, here, I'll show you a picture.
Sunflowers are. We kind of overlook them.
What?
They can't see it on the radio.
No, I'm going to show y'all a picture.
Oh, okay.
They're great for the butterflies. Those bordered butterflies lay their eggs on them.
Wow.
It's just it's a selfie with a sunflower.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Which one?
I didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Yeah, it's okay. You can do either. What's that? Which one's the sunflower?
Which one is? Yeah.
The one not wearing a gray T-shirt.
You know,
It looks very good. It's those were one of the bigger ones. You know, they come in different sizes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the littler ones like the annuals are really easy to grow. In fact, they'll take over if you let them.
Mm-hmm. I've seen those through neighborhoods.
The bordered patch are the butterflies that love them. They're small and colorful. But then the other thing that they really are attract them are the lesser goldfinches.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and if you've got water sources, you'll see the lesser goldfinches. Or if you've got feeders, even you see the lesser goldfinches early in the morning or later in the evening.
Okay.
They have a schedule. They must be out wandering, and then they're.
Did you have a question? No, ma'am.
No.
Inside on the
Oh yeah, you can pay us. Yes.
No,
yes.
stop it. Stop it. Just. Yeah, there you go. All right, 210-308-8867. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Yeah, did you get distracted?
The goldfinches.
The lesser, and I love the lesser.
And they get kind of tame. They get like the hummingbirds.
Yeah. But they are attractive. I really like those.
Okay,
particularly in the wintertime. You know, they seem to hang around and
the lesser goldfinches are here year round. I really haven't seen very many American goldfinches full size.
So you've talked about them liking the seeds. Can I get seeds off this sunflower to plant again?
Oh, sure.
Okay, how do I do that? Where the seeds are in the middle, right? They're in the
that whole brown.
Once everything has gone brown in the middle.
All right.
What I do with the annuals, because the annuals it's harder to collect the seed. The seeds are much smaller. I just collect when the plants mature. I just pull some and put them where I want the sunflower patch for the next year.
Okay. Oh, for the next year. Wow.
And they drop the seed. Yeah. And then that's where it comes up.
The other technique would put the flower head in a paper bag and shake vigorously.
When it turns brown, you said. Yeah. Okay. And shake it? What?
Yeah, and shake it.
Oh, am I supposed to shake the crepe myrtles that I put in the bag? They're going to pop and.
Yeah, they're going to pop.
Okay.
Now, anyway, that's a bit of a gamble on the crepe myrtles.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I got nothing to lose.
Well, they're
unless they do something weird.
They're a hybrid or
so I always wonder about that on the newer varieties, whether the seeds are viable.
Even
a lot of times they say, "Oh yeah, they're viable." I'm like, I don't know.
Better to do cuttings. If I want to try to.
Well, if you want the exact thing.
I think the general recommendation is you go to the nursery and buy one.
Yeah, no, I could, but these are in our yard, and I thought that'll be fun to see what I can do. Okay.
Good luck. They're a little harder to deal with then.
Thus spaketh Milton.
Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you now. You're gonna.
He was successful with the zinnia seeds, so now he thinks he can do
everything.
Now, if he can,
my jicama's doing well too. Just telling you.
Yeah, he and I are working on those.
The only one in town
those
growing
begonia, those whopper begonias.
Oh yes.
If we're successful on those,
then I can do crepe myrtles. If I can do those,
that's the next step.
You may be awarded.
Oh, okay. Calvin may have to apologize and eat his words.
Just knight you.
No, Calvin's never going to apologize. Oh, I graduate.
You graduate to a higher level.
Oh, do you think anyone else in town is growing a jicama?
No.
Yeah, I'm the only one. Would you like some jicama when it comes in?
No.
Okay, you're missing out.
I don't even know what it is.
Go to the store and check it out.
Yeah, crunchy root looking thing.
Okay.
They use it in salads. That's the only good thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the only seen it. All right. It's going to be great.
Fabulous.
What is it? Is it about a monarch?
Looks like a monarch.
Okay.
See that cruising up there rather than our queens are a little more directive and lower.
All right.
But we'll see. It could be, they don't listen to my rules.
No, they don't. I love when you say, well, they're pretty much all gone now. They've all moved on. And then one flies by, and I've never seen an animal like a butterfly stick its wing up to its little antenna and go, but it did. It was weird.
Sometimes I suspect that Mary sends them in from the
she
certified butter garden.
She might. But yeah, Milberger's is a great place. We need to take some pictures in the certified butterfly to get some.
Well, that's a good idea. And that's one of the things that I'm working on our milkweed and butterfly program for this next year, and that's one of the things we got to record a little more detailed what we see in terms of the plants, but also in terms of the use by butterflies and some behaviors so that we can fine-tune that effort a little bit.
Okay. Well, cool. All right, we need to take a quick break and get you caught up with the news. But in the meantime, call us. Give us some news on what's happening in your garden at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Were you still interested in fungus issues?
No, I was going to talk about what we should be growing in the
Let's do it right after Let's do it right after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867 is our number. 210-308-8867. Toll free 866-308-8867. Mark is doing some checking on some stuff inside. Oh, I think he's checking on seeds because he wants to see what we got and stuff. But yeah, so, all right, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can brag about in the garden. I bragged about my...
What about your spinach?
Spinach is in a hanging basket. Now, it's still growing up. It's not going over the side yet, but it looks good. It's now about a foot tall because, it was maybe...
It's not producing any seed yet, is it?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay,
no.
good, yeah.
Yeah, I'll double-check. If it does start to produce seed, cut it off?
Yeah, well, I think that's best, but you don't have to. I was trying to remember our pattern last time. I think it produced a ton of foliage, and then it started producing seed, but it was still producing a foliage as well. And I think at some point the taste changed slightly.
Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah. And so I was wondering if maybe that you kind of you collect seed and maybe some of the plants or one of the plants, and you go with just keep pruning it off on the others so that your foliage continues to be really tasty. Go a long time.
Well, and I do regret, it was just lazy on the Crawford reseeding lettuce. I never took any off and really made anything with it.
Well, mine's all
mine's gone,
big and ugly and seed.
Yeah, the seed are kind of neat looking. Look like big old white pom-poms on the top.
Oh, and speaking of Crawford lettuce, guess who called me?
Who?
Steve Brown.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he's was interested in a water conservation project, and I told him about Karen, and he wanted to chat with the people at SAWS, so I referred him over there. I haven't gotten a report on what they talked about, but he's into the water conservation for his community is forest. What is the what is that? The forest. The suburb.
Gray Forest.
Yeah, not Gray Forest, but.
Yeah, I know there's a couple.
Yeah.
So who are we talking about?
We work with them quite a bit with the water conservation projects, whatever community it was. Oh, Steve Brown is called, and they've got he and some of the citizens over there in that community were interested in putting together a water conservation project. They've always been kind of leaders in new ideas and things, and. So I got him some phone numbers over there.
So I see, just from Googling it, forest at Stone Oak? No.
No.
Well, there's the Gray Forest. You mentioned that one.
Yeah.
I think there's a forest over here to our east.
Valley Forest?
Forest
Oak? Okay. I'll stop now. Hidden Forest.
Hidden Forest.
Yep,
There
that's
you
probably
go.
Hidden Forest.
It's Hidden
we
Forest.
got it.
There you go.
Whew, I knew that was it. Okay. All right. 210-308-8867. Before we, yes, sir.
I know, I was going to say, and yes, that community has been involved in several projects over the years.
So before we went to the news, Mark teased a little bit about talking about summer vegetables that you still can plant by seed.
Yeah, so
what you thinking?
So I went over just to recheck. It was last week when I first checked. So we have lots of different pepper seeds. I counted over 20 different peppers.
Oh, my goodness.
That we can try to grow from seed. Now, that is 60 days that we're looking at, maybe 45 for the peppers. But okra and eggplant is still about 60 days out, but we still can do it. That's September. It's still a viable operation.
Southern peas?
And southern peas. We didn't have any southern peas. We had some peas in there.
Yeah.
But I was running short of time, so I couldn't make a detailed investigation. But there you go. Southern peas, and there's, about 3 or 4 different options.
Yeah,
we call southern peas.
We talked about that. Black-eyed.
Crowder.
There you go.
And there's another one that's real familiar, which
All right.
if anybody knows, you can remember what the other southern pea one is. But one of the best vegetables.
Cow peas, field peas,
that's
black-eyed
what it
peas,
is.
and Crowder.
Cow.
That's
what it is. I wanted to say hog, but that wasn't right.
No.
Cow peas. But one of the best vegetables you can grow right now, we said okra, peppers, eggplant, southern peas, and Malabar spinach.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. My Malabar is about a foot tall in a hanging basket, not drooping down or anything. But Calvin was encouraging me to make sure it hadn't gone to seed, and to maybe pick some leaves off of it and enjoy it.
Well, yeah, I was trying to figure out. Last year we had a really good season.
Yeah.
But at some point, though, the taste changed a little bit, and I was wondering if I was trying to relate whether it was when the seeds started being produced or if it was weather related. And now it continued to produce foliage even when it was producing seed, but at some point in that process, the taste had a slight change to it.
Yeah, I can't remember whether it was weather or day length.
Yeah, I thought
it was one of those two.
I thought it was
or maybe
weather.
both.
Yeah, but maybe so. Yeah, well, because they could correspond, couldn't they? Well, cool. So those are
you
things.
like it off the vine, in salads, any other method prepared?
Yeah, if you find a recipe that, because spinach is used in a lot of recipes.
Yeah.
And if we could find a really good Malabar spinach recipe, that would be kind of neat.
All right. Well, there's your challenge. Our listeners, call us at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Tell us how you use it. What do you use it on? Is it just something simple like a salad, or do you get fancier with it? Maybe you put it in egg bites or something.
Egg bites?
Yeah. You never had spinach egg bites?
Oh, yeah. No, scrambled eggs.
Calvin, why are you looking at me funny?
No, scrambled eggs.
Do you know what an egg bite is? Okay, it's like a little muffin, but it's an egg and cottage cheese and regular cheese and sausage and spinach. Yeah.
No.
No?
I just put it into soft scrambled.
Okay. That would be good, too.
That sounds good.
Chard as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All right. Again, 210-308-8867.
We're hungry now.
Yes. We talk about food a lot.
We talk about food.
Of course, that's part of the fun of growing, is eating.
Growing outward.
Is
growing
what?
down the scale.
Yes. Well, no, the Malabar spinach shouldn't.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah. Can you grow not black-eyed peas, but black beans? I've seen lots of recipes with kidney beans and black beans. Can you grow black
better
beans?
I always think of March as being the bean.
Oh, okay.
Bean time to plant.
How quickly will the black-eyed peas produce something if I plant them today?
45 days.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'd have to look
that's
it
not
up
bad.
specifically, but my feeling is 45.
Okay. I'm looking for Malabar spinach recipes. No one. Let me see if anybody has emailed me, Milton at KLUP.com.
Again, what was that?
Milton at KLUP.com. Yeah. And you can give me that recipe for Malabar spinach if you have one. And what was the other recipe we were looking for? Do you remember? No? Okay.
Oh, southern peas?
No, it was, I can't remember. It's okay.
I haven't had my third cup of coffee yet.
Okay.
Gosh, if you have that cup of coffee, you'll be flying away.
I believe on Saturdays Mary usually makes it, and it's pretty stout today. I could almost do the infamous put the horseshoe in the cup and make it stand up. It was that stout.
Yeah, it was.
How do you spell Malabar?
Malabar?
Yes.
All A's.
Okay. M-A-L-A?
Yep.
Yep.
B-A-R? Okay.
B-A-R.
B-A-R.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malabar.
Cool. That's what I thought. Can I relate another story to you?
Yes, please do.
All right.
I am all ears.
I have also found out, and maybe it's just me, and I'm doing
now
something.
that you had a haircut.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. Ligustrum is kind of hard to cut down. I've got a chainsaw out, and maybe it's because it's old and it's been sitting there kind of without leaves. It's dead. It's been dead a while.
It's dead. Okay. Because I was going to say it's kind of juicy sometimes.
Oh,
But this one's dead, and it is a fine grain. Once it hardens, it's
is that
pretty
the dealio?
tough.
Okay, man. I mean, the poor chainsaw was like
Screaming and yelling.
Yes.
Yeah. That also could mean you don't have a sharp
chainsaw.
chain.
Well, I did get another chain.
Okay. Excellent.
But yeah.
But I thought you were going to say it's hard to get rid of when it's alive.
It is hard to get rid of when it's alive.
And that's when we use our cut stump and vine.
Yeah.
Killer, which is under a new name. Sorry, I just can't remember.
Brush.
Well, just
cut brush and stump vine brush killer.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 variations, but the only thing they don't have is the cut word in there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that what it is?
Is that
vine and stump killer?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
And stump and
That's
vine
the way.
killer.
That's the way I'll remember it. It doesn't have the cut in it anymore.
Okay, so I did find a recipe for Malabar spinach stir fry.
Really?
Yeah, Malabar spinach, oil, mustard seeds. I don't know what this is. If you know, call us and tell me. U-R-A-D, next word D-A-L.
Do it again. Spell it again.
U-R-A-D.
A-D.
Urad? Urad, Dal?
Urad.
I don't know.
Urad?
Yeah, dried red chilies, green chili, garlic, onion, grated coconut. That sounds interesting. Salt and turmeric powder.
I can't have that.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Well, I have a reaction.
To turmeric?
No.
To chilies?
Coconut?
To
Coconut.
coconut.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. You can leave the coconut off, I guess.
Particularly grated.
Oh.
That sounds like some just kind of a spicy addition to to some cheese or something.
Yeah, so if you have a Malabar spinach recipe, you call us at 210-308-8867. All right, 210-308-8867. Again, like I said, the number, or come on out to Millburgers and visit with us. So let's see, what else is going on? You talked about rain.
Yeah, it is getting towards July 4th, and that's kind of a time to make some changes in the garden. So and it's tough sometimes for some people. They have a tomato plant which is doing nicely, and they don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But we know that the invasion is going to occur shortly. With the invasion,
If it hasn't occurred
already. Yeah.
Spider mites.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Last week you had mentioned about doing the trace method, but you didn't further explain.
For spider mites,
Yeah.
yes, and I have not done it yet because that plant's still in the ground.
You want to explain that?
And the trace method was that you take a big trash bag.
And what's the goal?
The goal is to get rid of the tomato plant without
spilling
without the
spider mites.
spider-
So minimize the transfer of spider mites.
Correct.
into your landscape or garden.
And so I suppose if you just cut it off and drag it to the compost pile or the trash can, you're spreading those spider mites throughout the yard?
You'll
Theoretically?
spread some, yeah. Well, it's less of a problem in the yard than it is right close to where you're growing your tomatoes.
Okay.
Because
So-
if you are growing but tomato, I was trying to think of what else. Peppers don't seem to be much affected by spider mites.
Oh, that's
A
interesting.
little, yeah, but
So,
not much. No.
Yeah. So the real problem is you want your area as clear as possible for the new planting in July of tomatoes.
And so the trace method was you take a big garbage bag and you put it over the tomato plant, right? And doing so far so good. And then so all the way down to the bottom where the roots and the soil meet, and then you cut off the root there, and then you just pick up the bag and tie it off real quick and then throw it away.
My question is always
What do you do with the
tomato cage.
Yeah, so I don't know. But didn't he have a solution for that?
Well, he would just he kind of fitted and
I thought
He kind of bypassed that issue.
No, I thought he had a solution for that. But anyway.
He may be here tomorrow.
And then
we'll
the problem,
bypass
we'll
again.
ask him.
I always think of if you take it off before, and your
then
typical tomato plant will it'll shake.
Yeah, that's right.
Shake all the spider mites off.
What if you kind of cut it a little bit? You cut the tomato plant?
That's probably the thing, but then that's just traditional removal. You've got the bag there, and you several pruning cuts into and cut the branch into the bag.
Okay.
And then get the cage off and take care of the rest.
And the idea is you put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
And shut it up and it goes off to the garbage, rather than in your compost pile, because the spider mites have a tendency to survive.
No.
Now I hate throwing foliage and things in the garbage. So, but if you're
to use the organic bin?
Yeah, if you're that's another question.
Yeah.
If you're using the organic bin, where does that organic material go at the end? Does it go back to some other gardener, or
No, it goes to a compost facility. So
there you go.
So you're thinking you're okay, huh?
Yeah, I think Atlas has the current contract with the city, Atlas Organics. So, but it's going to be mixed in with a bunch of other green material, and they're going to shred it and grind it. And
now, if you're
mix it up, because you can put paper in there. You can put shredded paper.
If your compost pile is 100 feet away, you're probably safe putting it in your compost pile. And especially, sounds like if it's especially if it's not all you have in there. You got lots of other plant parts. But that what you're after, it's not going to be a perfect transition. But what you're after is reducing the breeding population and bringing it the new plant entry in at a time when the spider mites are not as inclined to, or not as able to breed. And that relates mostly with the temperatures at night.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it can still be hot, and you can still be producing spider mites, but if you can reduce them.
Yeah.
And then I think the younger, newer plants have a more of a capacity to resist spider mites too. When your plants are at the end of their production period, they're more susceptible to spider mites than young transplants, I believe. So that all of those things contribute to a little bit of success. And then the other important thing is get those weeds out of there, so that you got basically bare gardening ground around your planting area or your containers even.
Yeah, it's, I've also found in my new push of gardening that weeding is difficult but somehow satisfying. Because you come out with, first off, you're like pulling the stuff out. You just hear it scream as you pull it. Especially the trashy plants like the vine that I was talking about last week and stuff.
So the cutting.
But then it looks great. I mean, then it looks nice and clean and yeah.
Yeah, if you got it in a reasonable, if you got 7 acres to look forward to, that's not very.
No, I have like a 3 by 6 foot thing that I'm weeding. So, yes. All right. 210. Yes, sir. Were you going to say something? Did I miss?
No, I better not.
Uh-oh.
No.
All right. 210-308-8867.
I was just going to say the pleasure of cutting plants and weeds.
Yes.
Very pleasurable.
Yeah, it is.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, you kind of, I don't know, feels like achievement.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. Come back in a moment. You give us a call, 210-308-8867. Back in a moment with more Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, the number to call with your gardening questions. What else is going on in the gardening world, gentlemen? You mentioned spider mites as pests. What else are popping their ugly little heads out now? Chinch bugs? I don't know, I'm just making up things.
I don't think chinch bugs have been
okay.
big. Now, on the lawn,
we've
got, let's see, kind of reacting to all the rain we've had. A lot of growth and germination, weed germination. But I think the key there is to keep mold.
Keep mowing. Mowing will encourage the grass and discourage the weeds.
So
another thing that
the first one in a minute.
Yeah.
Tell me about encouraging the grass.
It does so by discouraging the weeds. It's kind of a symbiosis there.
Okay, but does cutting it make the grass grow more and make the roots grow? I want long roots.
Well, it competes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it assists with that. So it decreases the competition of the weeds.
Okay.
Because weeds do not like to be mowed often.
I gotta.
But the grass encourage it either to grow sideways and fill in, or reestablish the root ratio of what you're referring to. Yes, taller grass is deeper roots.
One of the things that I think is unexpected right now with the drought, we've had a lot of bare ground when the rain started, and the earlier raining. What we've had come up in a lot of lawns that they don't usually see it is sandburrs.
Oh,
so I've been seeing my dogs. Have identified the parts of the yard where the sandbars are. So when they are trying to keep up to me where I'm going on, they have a longer route that they go because to avoid the sandbars, and that's an issue. Now, one of the things, a lot of the sandbars have not matured the burrs yet. So if you got an inclination and the enthusiasm and the ambition, you just take your point of your shovel and poke them up and put those in some kind of a box or a garbage sack, and you can toss them. Once they get mature, then the burrs are loose and they'll fall off of those plants. But if you get them before they mature, they hang on the plants. Are relatively easy to identify which are the sandburrs, and so you just do that. And you kind of be systematic, and you start the busiest part of your lawn, and then do as much as you can. It's part of this reasonable sized projects. If you look at your full acre and say, "Oh my Lord," but if you look at the area, the front lawn area, or the sunniest part of these near the gardens or something, then it's a reasonable project. And then now if you do miss that opportunity to poke those whole plants with the seeds, these burrs included, up, then the next choice is quite often a piece of rug.
To
drag along, and then what you're doing is a lot of the stickers are sticking to the rug, and you can
try to keep the dogs on the rug, add a little weight.
Oh, okay.
You can drag those drag them behind your mower, or rope it and pull it, or have one of the kids or a neighbor pull it, and that gets a lot of the mature sandburrs, and then at some point you just throw it in the garbage. But it can take a lot of burrs before you have to toss it.
I like having the bag behind the mower.
Right.
Catch them all in, and then incinerate them. I find that very satisfying. The burning burrs.
Mm-hmm.
I find that very, very, very satisfying.
I don't use a
catcher.
Catcher, yeah.
I had to when I was a youngster, and so I don't like doing it now. But if you have sandburrs, that's to collect all the burrs as much as possible. So that is difficult.
And quite often, if it's Bermuda grass, and that's usually where the sandburrs are growing because they like full sun. And the neat thing about that, you mow your Bermuda grass down there is, if your mower will allow you to go down to an inch. Even at an inch and a half, you can cut most of the sandburrs off.
Yeah.
And the Bermuda grass, this is one of the best examples of the Bermuda grass competing. The lower it's cut, the better it is a competitor with whatever weeds, including sandburrs, are to. So, and then you do a good job. If you do collect them, you can do a good job with tossing them in the garbage.
Don't toss them in the compost.
Or if it's legal for you to burn them, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're not putting them in the compost pile.
No, probably not sand.
No.
Not the. I wouldn't put the sand.
No, I agree. I know. I knew the answer.
Yeah. He was just poking us.
Yeah. No, I was just sometimes you ask questions you know the answer to. All right. Let's see. All right. So we talked about that.
We talked about Calvin's article.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We can or we did?
We can.
Okay, I thought I asked before and we said we had.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's talk about Calvin.
We talked about bits and pieces of it. So
okay, let's talk about Calvin's article.
The main focus of it were vines that are appropriate for our area.
Yeah, we had a big question about that last week, didn't we? Okay.
Yeah, see, and Calvin said, next week my upcoming article will be about vines.
Well, one of the big ones, the first one in the list is the Queen's Crown or coral vine.
Yeah.
And that is blooming up a storm now, and a pretty dominant vine. It needs full sun.
Did we ever find out whether it's preyed upon deer or deer prey upon it?
Oh, yeah, that was the question, yeah.
Yeah, but Calvin and I have an answer that we're always...
Now, it's on my fence where the deer go by, and they don't consume enough to...
I was going to say, so if they do, what does it matter? Because the coral vine is growing so prolifically that who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't. It just grows through it.
I saw the... It's not covered in the article, but I saw the deer were eating the that the vine that I have that has the beautiful yellow flowers, but the thorns.
Butterfly. Was it butterfly?
No.
No.
It's the wild exotic one that it's got thorns. It's not desirable. But anyhow, it surprised me that the deer were eating it because I've never,
Cat's claw?
Cat's claw.
Yeah. There you go. The evil one.
But,
Bless yourself when you
But
say
you know why they're eating it is because it's fresh and a lot of growth with this rain.
Ah.
It's when it's a dry situation or hot situation, the cat's claw. Well, even when it's rainy, the cat's claw is not a real desirable. It doesn't appear to be a real desirable food for them, but they will eat at it as long as it's lush and green tender. But coral vine, they don't seem to eat it. Coral vine will grow over buildings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is coral
Over
vine the one
trees.
that you see going up telephone poles? Is that the? Is that
It's
coral
one
vine?
of those
It's
that
one
does
of
it.
those, but it's cat's claw will do that too.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing that it does, it will grow over the surface of the ground too.
Oh yeah.
In fact, where was when I was it was in Trinidad, I believe, when I saw it.
Really?
It's bragging again.
Yeah.
years ago, and it was just like it was water over the waves of this coral vine.
Oh, was that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We
The
was
poor
having
con-
brunch with the Queen.
Yes,
And,
Queen, the poor construction crew that was working on the highway there, it looked like the substantial part of the crew was busy keeping the coral vine at bay, and about the same number busy putting asphalt down.
Is that? Oh, just that's
Yeah.
funny.
Constant
That aggressive,
battle.
huh?
But saving grace on coral vine. Well, it's one of the probably one of the most pollinator.
Yeah. That's why
Favorite.
we like it. And I think
Yeah.
it dies back.
Okay. Oh, to
doesn't
the
like
ground.
cold weather.
Oh.
In a pinch, you can use remedy
Well.
to control. But if you use remedy, you got to be careful because
Oh.
that's a potent herbicide. But that's what saves us from overwhelming is that the fact that the cold weather comes, it quits growing and it's gone. It dies back to the ground every year. And so that's a good one. So that's one you hesitate. Now it's got, I think the red version is not quite as aggressive as the pink version. Is there a white version too?
No, I don't know. All I know is the red and the pink, and we
Yeah.
did have the red here.
Yeah. Very attractive.
Very, very, very attractive.
Very attractive.
Yes.
Very,
very,
very attractive.
Yeah.
Another one we talk about is the trumpet creeper
Mm-hmm.
in there. And that one is the deer don't eat.
Yeah. But there are several that are aggressive. But you mentioned the slightly not aggressive or more restrained grower is the Madam Galen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty flowers and the humming. That's one that really brings the hummingbirds in. That's their favorite. Not as the butterflies and bees will come in for that, but not at the level that they come in for coral vine. But the hummingbirds, if you've got trumpet creeper, you're going to have the hummingbirds.
Yeah.
Now, Mark mentioned the native one and the most aggressive version. That'll take off across country.
Right.
On a fence.
Yeah.
I had it on my peach orchard. On it went down on all sides on the fence and had a stem that was 8 inches. 8 inches thick.
It is difficult to take care of. Some of those non-native ones are very aggressive and they are very difficult to kill. And the question last week was, what's causing this? We couldn't see exactly which one it was, whether it was trumpet creeper or crossvine. But I was hoping that it wasn't trumpet creeper, a non-native version, because that's very aggressive.
Yeah, crossvine is one of my favorite in terms of the color and the coverage. But the problem is on crossvine is that the deer do eat it. And so a lot of places. That's the vine that we used to grow at Mitchell Lake at the game.
That's how I first learned to identify it at Mitchell Lake. We had several barriers or walls that it was just covered from one end to the other.
And in the spring, it just covered the blooms, just covered the whole fence, just solid blooms. And that's another one that the hummingbirds. A lot of folks, when they're anxiously waiting for the hummingbirds to show up in the spring, that's where they'll watch as their crossvine, because that's one of the favorites. But that's does a good job of blocking views, and it's aggressive enough to cover whatever space you wanted on the fence, but it doesn't take over the whole neighborhood. So, but then Mark had mentioned butterfly vine. Mm-hmm. That's kind of one that we've reverted to because of the deer don't eat it.
Oh, okay.
And I just like saying it, Miscagnia. Don't you just like that? Butterfly vine.
Sounds like a teacher.
Yeah, Miscagnia. Yeah.
I have Miscagnia's class.
But yeah, that's the butterfly vine. I think it's kind of a nice solution. Kind of restrained, beautiful flowers that are attracted to pollinators, and the deer don't eat it.
And is that the one that's over on the arbor?
It's one of those that's over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 210-308-8867. Bert, we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We're going to talk with you. I want to give you all the time you need right after this. 210-308-8867 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And Bert may have a Malabar spinach recipe. I'm curious. It just says he wants to talk about Malabar spinach. Back after this on The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. Bert's on the line. Chalmette Bert. Where you at, Bert?
Well, today, learning myself to make pemmican.
Oh. What is that?
But I'm doing a lot. It's just, a regular do your chores day. But I just take a break because I always love listening to you guys, too.
Well, thank you.
The first thing, you always saying about summer flowers, and I just happened to be on one of the websites, and it's called Gardening Know-How, and it was just 20 plants that, here's it goes, 20 summer flower for pots that bloom. And I was just like, okay, and the one that I hadn't known about was called blanket flower, and it sure did remind me of an Indian paintbrush, somewhat the colors.
I think Mark is pointing at one.
It is an improved variety of one.
That the coneflower? Or?
No. You see, there's both. They mix the coneflower with the gaillardia.
Is that like firewheel?
Yeah, it's gaillardia.
Is that how you say it, gaillardia?
Yeah.
Okay, because my altar boy Latin was messing with my head.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's the English version.
Okay, but you know what the other one also that has those colors is Coreopsis, and I really like that plant. And then just for height, yarrow to add some white to it, and what was the other one? False indigo, Baptisia. I think they go good, like for adding height to the other one. Seemed to be a little mid-level and ground. If it's blanket flower,
false indigo.
If you're into false indigo, you have to look for the what's the author's name? She writes about
I don't know.
herbs.
Herbs.
That's
Mary?
pretty. Oh my goodness, that's really pretty.
And she has a book that's entitled False Indigo, I believe.
It says it's deer resistant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most of those herbs are.
But,
Oh, okay.
because of the taste.
Dyes. The indigo is famous or infamous in some places for the blue dye.
Yep. That's what I thought. I mean, because it's a nice pale blue flower. I was amazed that they got such a dark blue dye out of it.
You know what is really a nice blue flower? Well, of course, plumbago is beautiful, but the ruellia, that wildflower ruellia has been blooming up a storm. It's out there with your coreopsis.
Yeah.
The two of them together look really great.
There was a reader who questioned Neil Sperry on that very same thing in today's paper, and it got out of hand. And they showed a picture. Yeah, it got out of hand. The entire backyard was Mexican ruellia. So that's all purple.
That was the
invasive one. Yeah. So
would blanket flower, Mark? Would Guardia? I'm gonna say blanket flower because I'm not gonna go with Latin.
Yeah, it goes firewheel.
Would that be like? Would it try to take over also?
I have found it a bit aggressive in the seed packets. When you get the Texas wildflower seeds, there's a certain component of Gaillardia in there, and a lot of people have said that it will take over a yard after 5 or 6 years because it is a perennial in that it reseeds itself all the time.
Yeah, now
right.
In my yard, I used that mix. Well, I have about 10 years ago, but the coreopsis comes first, and then the bee balm, and then the firewheel, or maybe the firewheel.
Firewheel and the Mexican hat. They're later in the summer. Yeah. That's it. That was the key thing. You have different flowers at different times of the year, but that one seems to be in the summer the most.
Well, I learned a little lesson about. That's why I asked you if it was aggressive, because when it said blanket flower, I'm just like, okay, it's going to blanket the yard. But I usually, what I did, I learned when I was in Chalmette and growing not weeds. The difference between knowledge. Knowledge is knowing it's a weed. Wisdom is knowing that it has a medicinal value or an edible value. That's what I meant to say. But I grew mint, a lot of mint, and dwarf bananas. And what I would do when I put them in the ground is I would just take like a 5-gallon pot and put them in that and put that in the ground. And it would tend to stifle their aggressiveness.
The mint? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you really a mistake if you put it in a raised bed garden, unless you like 8 foot by 40 foot of mint in there,
unless you drink a lot of mint tea.
Oh.
Or juleps, mint juleps.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you can only drink so many of them, then you run out of bourbon.
Yeah. True.
But let's jump on to Malabar spinach too.
Yes, sir.
You know, the first year that I got it, you were asking for recipes. The first year that I had them, when they jumped up as a climbing vine, is it Calvin? Do you have it in a hanging plant, or is it? Am I got the names wrong with it?
On the mint?
Yeah, no, the Malabar.
I have it in a hanging basket. I don't know.
I've got it in
the container.
Container, half whiskey barrel size container.
I have mine in a hanging basket.
I remember them to be climbing vines, not trailing vines.
Oh.
But they do well out of a half whiskey barrel, and they go down the side. So
like I said, the first year that I grew them and found out about them, that mine grew up so big that I actually could stuff the leaves. The leaves got that big. That I could stuff them like a grape leaf.
Yum.
How now? Did the taste change in
yes,
the sun?
That's what I was noticing. The maturity of the plant at first in the spring is really nice. It was a bit set off because I was expecting a spinach taste, and then I looked it up and found out it's a cousin. It's not a true spinach. It's a cousin, but it's in the same family, I believe correctly. But yeah, as they got older, it just when the seeds, as you said, the seeds started coming in, and they put their energy into the seeds. And only if you and they make a lot of seeds, so you got to be real on it to deadhead them to keep the leaves going. But the leaves do diminish as the seeds come on in the season.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool.
What about, did you tell us any recipes?
He stuffs them.
Well, just like I said, I use quinoa and rice generally and then I just take like lamb and ground lamb and some spices and herb, saute the onion. From Louisiana, I use the Trinity, bell peppers, onions, and celery. So that's just my go-to. I guess it's like I can't remember the French word for the word they use.
You're not talking about roux, are you?
No. He's talking about the mirepoix.
Mirepoix, yeah, that's it. And that's got carrots in it instead. But
that sounds good, the lamb with the spinach.
Well, like here, I would just take and get pico de gallo and rice and lamb or goat or ground beef, whatever you like, and then wrap them with that. That's basically a stuffed bell pepper filling, and just if you got the big enough leaves, that's just my go-tos. I'm a bachelor and I'm 67, so it's easier to cook up those little things and cook them up all in a week. Stuffed peppers, stuffed leaves, and then I don't have to worry about cooking the rest of the week. I just reheat.
Very good.
Sounds good.
How's your search for? We have a couple minutes left, but how's your search for volunteer activities coming? I'm going to hold.
Not just yet. I still got one more surgery on the eye, on the right eye, to get my lens put in, and then I can get back at it because, it's very difficult. I know I'm not complaining because I was raised like I used to complain about having no shoes till I saw a man that had no feet, and so that's how I look at life. And I'm just like waiting on the eye. I'm just keeping active and doing my studies and keeping up with the plants. Well, since I love garlic and onions, I'm using them as chives now, growing them in containers because that's just the way it is. But yeah, when I get my lens in the right eye, then I'll get back out. I want to do something outside again, even if it's hot.
No, I know you do. That's why I'm kind of bugging you. I'm keeping you accountable. But I'll give you another couple weeks before I hold you.
Yeah, well, Bert, he bugs a lot of us, so it's just a different topic for you.
Yep.
Well, I think Mark, you said it best during the program today. Like he's poking us.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually serious about Bert. I want Bert to get out there. I know it means a lot to him.
I do. Well, like I said, that's just when I get to the new place in around Comanche Lookout Park.
Right.
I'll be outside because it's got a yard that's as big as the house, and I'll be doing stuff with plants. I'm telling you. Look, I believe, as I said in the good book, we were put here to tend and keep the garden. That's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to get too religious or anything.
Don't get super religious.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Bert.
Like it, though. Yeah,
that's good.
Bert.
Thanks, Bert. We'll talk to you later.
All right, y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We don't have time, but write down this number for tomorrow, 210-308-8867, or come by Millburgers and visit us. And we'd love to talk. Bring a picture of what's bugging you, what's the problem, or bring a sample. That always makes it good, too. Or just come and brag a little bit. Bring some of those. What do you have? You have the you have the Rio Grande Gold, right?
Yeah.
How many do you have? How many peppers?
How many peppers?
Yeah.
I just have one plant.
Oh, well, one plant.
I got my tomatoes, the BHN 968s. I was able to get 7 of those to grow. But there's about 9 peppers on the plant, and it's growing very vigorously. Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll have to talk about how you can propagate those or save the seeds.
That's right. I was thinking about eating them, but you're probably right. I should save the seeds.
At least on one of them. Yeah. And you're gonna bring seeds tomorrow? You're gonna bring Rio Grande Gold seeds tomorrow?
If I can find where I did with them. I scooped him out of the
No,
pepper.
I can't. I don't want to hear.
And I don't know what I did with
It's
it.
just gonna be
After I
sadder.
scooped him out, I don't remember what
It's
I did with it.
getting sadder and sadder. All right, we're going to take a break and come for a
What?
23-hour break.
Okay.
So you don't have to stay here. You can go home, Mark. But listen, we're going to be back tomorrow, so come visit us at 1604 on Boulevardy Road. On behalf of Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, thanks to Al for doing a great job. I'm Milton Glick. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.